This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please seek a medical professional or healthcare provider if you're seeking any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Thanks, everyone.
Hello, guys.
Hi, everyone. Feels nice to look alive again after looking very goth for the last 2 episodes.
Yes, I know.
We
But
did
now we're
today.
doing in brighter colors.
Yeah. Hope you all had a great Halloween.
Yes.
So this is October recap.
Yes, I love these episodes.
Yes.
Join us as we talk about new medical news.
Yes.
What? I feel like I was preaching to people right there. Join us.
Oh,
Bring
God.
your hands together for some new medical news.
That kind of reminds me of the Egyptian photo that I have of when we went to Horror
You know,
Nights
I
way
went to
about
Horror
that. I'm
Nights.
like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Oh my God. I was actually looking at a lot of our old pictures and old videos.
Oh, my God.
We have
There's
some
so
good
many.
shit.
There are so many good ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Julie's going to
So,
start us off with the first one.
all right. I'm sure you guys heard a lot about this one because I did like
Yeah, it's
nonstop.
disgusting. I can't with Boar's Head right now.
Boar's Head is out.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to recover from this because it's pretty bad. But anyway, so bugs, mold, and mildew found in Boar's Head plant linked to deadly listeria outbreak. And so this was by Alexander Tim, updated on August 29th, reported on CBS News. So Boar's Head meat plant in Virginia has been linked to serious listeria outbreak that has led to 9 deaths and 57 hospitalizations. Inspections uncovered unsanitary conditions, including mold, mildew, live and dead insects, and meat residue on surfaces.
What the hell?
So everything you don't want to encounter on, especially most of these meat products, a lot of people just eat this without warming them up or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
Cold cuts.
exactly. So in response, Boar's had recalled over 7 million pounds of products, including deli meats and liverwurst. The plant remains closed as the company addresses these violations and attempts to ensure future safety. As of mid-October 2024, many Boar's Head products remain safe to consume, but some items purchased at Garrett, Virginia plants may have been recalled due to potential contamination with listeria. The recall affected over 7 million pounds of meat, including liverwurst, bologna, ham, and other deli items. However, most Boar's Head products, especially those from other facilities, are not part of the recall and are safe to eat.
But still,
It's like you're
why
right,
would I
like
want? It's
Yeah.
like it's safe to eat from that.
from that other plant. But like, how sure are we?
I'm sure exactly.
You know?
No, once you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's not liverwurst, bologna, or anything. I'm
Still,
still anything.
yeah, still, it's like the damage has been done, you know? So Boar's Head has implemented new safety protocols to address the contamination concerns. If you are unsure whether a product is affected, check for the establishment numbers. So I will put them here for any of you watching on YouTube, but it's EST.126112 or P-126112 on packaging, which identifies the recalled items. For safety, particularly in individuals who are pregnant, elderly, or have weakened immune systems, it's advised to avoid deli meats as a whole, but unless they are thoroughly heated before consumption. Boar's Head is also cooperating with investigations to improve its safety standards, but they're pretty much done with me. And it's crazy because Boar's Head was always like the high-end one, the one that you would pay more.
expensive one. And also, if you go to Publix, a lot of the stuff is Boar's Head. I went to the counter the other day and I'm like, do you have, I don't know, I forgot what I was asking for, but some sort of like deli meat. And they're like, only Boar's Head. And I'm like, I'm not getting that. And I'm like, do you have Publix or any other brands? And they're like, no.
You see? Yeah.
I was just, and the lady's like, but that only affected this and this. And then I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, but the trust has been damaged. Yeah.
And also, just things keep coming out. It's not like
Right.
It was a recall and then they took care of it.
No,
it
it's still...
It just gets worse. Because if you've been following us, we've been talking about this listeria outbreak for a couple of our recaps.
Yep.
You know, before it was just 2 people that were dead. Now it's up to 9.
And
like the numbers
57
yeah,
hospitalizations.
57 hospitalizations. And like just more news is coming out on it. Before it was just the counter ones. Now they're saying even the packaged ones. So it's just no. It's a no.
I don't know. It's a no for me.
Yeah. All right. So keeping your good mood while taking GLP-1s could take some intentionality, experts say, by Madeline Holcomb on September 19, 2024, and it was reported on CNN. So the article discusses the effects of GLP-1 medications such as Ozempic, Wegovy, which are the weight loss injections that we've been talking about. These drugs are originally developed to treat diabetes. They're gaining a lot of popularity because of its effectiveness in losing weight. If you've been following us since the beginning, we have a full entire episode on semaglutide.
Yeah.
However, some of the users reported changes in mood, including anxiety and depression while taking these medications, leading to an ongoing FDA investigation. But despite these reports, current studies like the one that was just published in JAMA, Internal Medicine, haven't found definitive links between GLP-1 medications and significant mental health issues. The drug works by regulating blood sugar levels and passing the area in the brain related to hunger and mood, which can be the reason why they experience mood changes in general. So in addition to possible mood effects, a lot of users may also need to manage fluctuating blood sugar levels, which can also impact your mood. A lot of these GLP-1 medications have also been praised for their cardiovascular benefits. Researchers are suggesting that they could prevent heart attacks and stroke. Obviously, it's linked to obesity and offering broader health advantages beyond weight loss. However, these drugs are obviously expensive. They're pretty infamous for being expensive and really hard for insurance to even cover. So a lot of people stop taking them early due to the side effects of the nausea and diarrhea. So for best results, it's recommended to stay in close contact with your healthcare provider for support and to manage any side effects effectively.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the first things that I see that it's like negative about.
But not really negative, because the thing is, this is just mood changes. Some people are reporting positive
Positive mood changes
because of the weight loss and all that. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so next, association between treatment with retinoids and sexual dysfunction by Audrey Rutherford on MD on October 10, 2024 on the British Journal of Dermatology. So a recent study published in the British Journal of Dermatology looked at the potential link between retinoid treatment, which is commonly used for skin conditions like acne, and sexual dysfunction. The researchers investigated whether people who take retinoids experience issues with their sexual health, such as reduced libido, I can never say that right on the first try, or difficulty with sexual performance. The study found that there might be an association between the use of retinoids and the sexual dysfunctions in some individuals. This doesn't mean that retinoids directly cause these problems, but researchers noticed enough patterns to think there could be a connection. More research is needed to confirm these findings and understand how retinoids might affect sexual health. So for people using or considering retinoids, it's essential to be aware of the possible side effects, of course, like any medication, really. And anyone experiencing sexual dysfunction while on a retinoid treatment should consult their healthcare provider. However, this doesn't mean everyone on retinoids will face these issues, and doctors can help weigh the risks and benefits for each individual.
Yeah, and that's like really crazy if they do end up finding a link, because that's like the gold standard medication for a lot of things.
For a lot of things in dermatology.
Yeah.
Wrinkles, acne,
wrinkles,
pores,
you know, you name it, and it's used a lot. So it would be crazy.
It would be crazy and rough, because then it's like, what do you pivot to?
Yeah, I don't know. All right. So association between anti-diabetic drug use and reduced risk of Parkinson's disease.
I'm telling you, every week it's like more.
I think we covered a little bit about this in our last recap too, by Leila Muntasser Kothari. She's a physician, and also a PhD. And this was published October 13, 2024, and it was published in Neurology, the Journal of Neurology. So a new study published in Neurology looked at the connection between medication used to treat diabetes at the risk of developing Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's is a condition that affects movement, and researchers have found that people taking certain drugs for diabetes seems to have a lower chance of getting Parkinson's later on. The study doesn't prove that diabetes medication directly prevents Parkinson's, but it does suggest that there may be a helpful link between these treatments and reduced risk of the disease. Obviously, like we say in every single episode, more research is needed to even confirm any of that.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't think that GLP-1s have been on the market for that long.
For long
to
enough,
say,
yeah.
To say that.
Like with definitive, but there's
Exactly. But
it's
there's
curious.
some promising things going on and related to specifically Parkinson's.
Yeah, that's really interesting. More research links IUDs to breast cancer risk. So this is by Nina Agrawal on October 16, 2024, published on the New York Times. A recent study had sparked concern about a potential risk between hormonal IUDs like Mirena and Skyla, just to name like two, and an increased risk of breast cancer. These IUDs release
Levonorgestrel.
a form of progesterone to prevent pregnancy. While studies show that they may increase the risk of breast cancer slightly, so around a 19% in one study, the overall risk is still considered small, particularly for women who are otherwise at low risk. Importantly, those IUDs are also known to reduce risks of other cancers, such as ovarian and endometrial cancers, which makes the overall benefit risk to ratio balance individualized. So experts recommend discussing your specific risk factors with your doctor before making decisions about birth control. Family history, your overall health, and cancer risks should all factor into the conversation. For many women, the benefits of using IUDs, like reduced risk of gynecologic cancers, might outweigh the potential risk of breast cancer. But the decision is highly personal and should be made with medical guidance at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
there's
I actually read this study and I felt like the title of it was very triggering. And I felt like the way that the research was presented was like almost like in a negative light. But if you really look at the percentages of it and like the actual like per person, like one for every 500 people, like if you actually put it into more understanding numbers, the risk is super, super, super low. Like the risk of death during a delivery is significantly higher. The risk between breast cancer and ovarian cancer, like that is also really different as well. And you can screen for breast cancer. You cannot screen for uterine cancer. You know, like you can, but it's not like a routine thing. So I feel like that article was just the evidence could be really confusing.
Okay.
So, like a lot of people can read that and be like, oh my God, I have an IUD, I have
that's the point.
Mirena, and I don't want breast cancer. No one wants breast cancer. But if you really go through the research and talk to someone that can explain to you and maybe numbers that you understand, you actually realize that the risk is actually still super, super low. Like you can eat plastic and probably have the similar chances of developing cancer. You know what I mean? Or like getting an x-ray done, radiation and that being a link to cancer. So it's just all these research things. It's good to know this information, obviously to talk about it to your patients. Obviously, if there's like risk factors of like family and other things of cancer and all of that, I as a physician, you probably would consider that, right? But I don't want that title to scare everyone out there that has an IUD that's a hormonal IUD to thinking that just because you have that, you're at risk for that, okay? So just talk to your doctor about that. That's my personal opinion, that I felt like I thought it was poorly delivered by the people that wrote the paper.
But hasn't it always been known that
it's always
hormonal birth control can cause
there is but the number is low. But I could say the same thing about 1,000 other,
and that's what I'm saying. Like when I saw this, I'm like, but I feel like, how is this a new study when I feel like it's always been known? Like when I was...
And everything in medicine is risk versus benefit, right? So the risk of you getting this is still significantly lower than the benefits of you potentially getting pregnant and having complications of a pregnancy and things like that, or dying at birth.
Right.
So those numbers are actually higher than having that hormonal IUD. Just for everyone out there, if this really still freaks you out, because that can still freak you out, there's a non-hormonal IUD that you can have as well. Check out our IUD or our
birth control
episode.
Two-parter.
That's 2 episodes. So,
that was a 2-parter worth.
We've all detailed into everything. But that was just my opinion on that. I felt like it was negatively. I feel like the title was just like someone reads that and they're like, oh, excuse me, and on like the New York Times, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like, come on, Like,
It's great clickbait.
yeah, clickbait.
It really is. It really is. And it's just like, I feel like it's something that's been known for a very long time. So I don't know why they're saying this is like super new and like they kind of made it look like it's never been known.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like that's always been known. Like I've seen that in like the packets from your BC pills.
Yeah,
it says it,
It's
you know? So I don't know, whatever. All you.
Okay, so Ozempic and similar medications to Ozempic may be the new treatment for opioid and alcohol use disorder. Julie and I have kind of been just
I've been seeing this.
sprinkling this in other episodes, but now we finally have like something to actually talk about it. So this is by Sarah Kidan and Ashley McCune and Benjamin Tingy on the 17th of October, 2024, obviously published in Addiction Science Journal. So this study examined how medications known as GLP-1 receptor antagonists, like Ozempic, are used to treat diabetes, obesity, and might reduce substance-related outcomes, particularly in opioid and alcohol use disorders. So we've kind of mentioned it before that there was a lot of people using these medications that actually did not have like that craving for alcohol or other things, right? By analyzing data from over 1.3 million patients, the researchers found that those prescribed these medications had lower rates of opioid overdosing and alcohol intoxication. The study suggests that these medications may affect the brain's reward system.
Interesting.
Which is what triggers your addiction, right? It's that reward system, influencing addictive behaviors. So this could offer new treatment strategies for managing people with substance use disorders.
Telling you, this is like
we definitely need to do an updated
on the semaglutide and GLP-1s.
Just
Just GLP-1 really. All right, so next, nearly 12 million pounds of ready-to-eat chicken products recalled over listeria risk. Here's another recall. So by Randy Richardson on October 15, 2024, updated on October 17th and reported on NBC News. So a major meat recall has been issued by Bruce Pack, a company that produces ready-to-eat poultry and meat products, due to concerns over listeria contamination. So nearly 10 million pounds of various meat products, including chicken and other meats, are affected. The recall was initiated after routine USDA testing detected the bacteria in samples, which can cause serious illnesses, and especially in older adults, pregnant women, and those with weakened immune systems. Listeria infections can lead to symptoms like fever, muscle aches, and gastrointestinal issues. And in severe cases, it may even result in death. So the recalled products were produced between June and October 2024, so now, and were distributed across grocery stores, schools, horrible, that's like even in schools, restaurants and institutions nationwide. Consumers are urged to check the labels on any ready-to-eat meat or poultry products and discard any items that are part of the recall. Also, if you have one of those grocery stores like Publix and whatnot, you could return it and they will give you a refund. They're pretty good about that. Yeah. I think Target also has like a similar...
You can literally return anything to Target, Publix.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Rare are the times that they're like, you can't do that.
I've seen people with like half consumed milk.
Yes, and they go and return it. Yes, and I'm like, I think not that fair.
Yeah, I know. And like, God.
And people won, and they're like, oh God.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, this was bad.
Like
the pack is missing.
All right.
Yeah.
So Bruce Pack and the USDA are working together to ensure that the potentially contaminated products are removed from shelves. To identify the specific products affected by Bruce Pack recall, you'll want to check for items produced between June 19, 2024 and October 8, 2024, which may have establishment numbers. I will put them here for those of you watching on YouTube, but I will say it's 51205 or P-51205. Inside or beneath the USDA mark of inspection. These ready-to-eat meat and poultry products have been distributed, like I said, in all retail, like a lot of retailers. And we're talking about Walmart, Trader Joe's, Kroger's, Target, Aldi, Amazon Fresh, and, just to name a few. So the recall involves, and just to be more specific, we're talking about like when I say like ready-to-eat meat products, I'm talking about like pre-packaged meals even, like so grilled chicken and like, things that have already been cooked, you could just throw them on a salad type of situation. Yeah. So for a complete list of recalled products, the USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service, FSIS, has provided a 326-page document, which I am obviously not going to be reading right now.
Control find.
Exactly. With detailed item codes and images of affected labels. So if you want to look at what you have, you can find the full list on the FSIS website or through retailers involved in the recall. And if you have any of these products, it's important, like we said, either discard them or return them. Just don't consume it. Horrible. All these recalls. And there's more.
I was gonna say,
And there's more.
I feel like, I don't know if it's because of our podcast that we're like constantly on the news with these things that we see a lot of these recalls, but I've never seen so many recalls.
I don't remember when I was a kid knowing about a recall.
No, I mean, we definitely always had like phone recalls, and like in residency, like we had the recall like formula.
No, yeah, that's residency. I'm talking about like when I was a teenager
But
or
like
something.
now,
Like chicken nuggets are always like on a fucking recall.
no, I'm gonna have to go kill the chicken by myself.
I know. We're gonna have to like
kill the chicken and do everything.
There's that Tesla robot coming in.
Exactly. That is your job.
That's your job. You kill these
Chase
chickens
the chicken,
and you
Can
make
imagine
them.
a robot chasing the chicken. Just tune into our AI. Our
And that, no, it was our Uncanny Valley
Uncanny
Patreon
Valley.
episode. We went on a very far, really good tangent on
such a
that.
good tangent though.
It really was.
So good. Like, if you really want to like sit with us in a deep conversation,
This is your job. You see this chicken?
yeah,
Chicken nuggets.
make it into a chicken nugget. All right, multiple chicken nuggets.
Have at it.
Yeah. Go. I'll be back later. I don't want to see the mess. Clean up,
No.
clean up after yourself.
And clean up after yourself. I don't want to see anything but the chicken nuggets once they're
Exactly.
done.
I want to make it seem like you got it from the store. Okay, Publix chicken tenders.
Oh my God, they're so good.
They're so yummy. All right. So I can attest to this one.
Yeah, this
Whoopee
is
cough,
for you.
Okay. It's at a decade high level in the U.S. U.S. health officials say whoopee cough is at its highest level in decades for the time of the year.
It's ridiculous.
And because of vaccinations, let's just be honest. So by Associated Press on October 17, 2024, reported on U.S. News, whoopee cough, also known as pertussis, is spreading across the U.S. At the highest levels in a decade. Okay.
We should be the other way around.
Yeah, we should be the other way around, but right. So in 2024, the country has seen more than 16,000 cases so far, 4 times more than the same last year. Okay. Experts are concerned that the situation could worsen in the fall and winter as more people spend more time indoors, increasing the spread. The disease is especially dangerous for babies, as 1 in 3 infants who catch whooping cough require hospitalization. I just took care of a patient that had whooping cough. He was a 2-month-old.
Oh, no.
Had to go to the hospital twice.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And guys, whooping cough is aggressive. Like
No, it really is.
It's not like a little cold. It's bad.
Yeah. And kids have like apneic episodes, which means you stop breathing because of that cough.
No.
It's really scary. I literally had the baby and I thought I was going to have to start a resuscitation because the baby stopped breathing
Oh
for
my
like
God, no.
7 seconds. And those were like the longest 7 seconds of my life.
I'm sure.
And he was just like, just not, and the mom was just like, oh my God, like do something. And I like,
Was that this morning?
no, it wasn't this morning. It was like a few weeks ago. But
Jesus Christ.
it's actually really
I'm like,
scary. It's very scary, and it's so weird because in residency I had whooping cough,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as severe. And then now I'm seeing it more. He wasn't my first patient with this whooping cough situation, but now I'm seeing it more on these diseases that before we didn't see because of vaccinations, and now.
What the fuck was that?
What was that?
I have no idea. We should.
Fire, we're back.
Okay, we're back. For those of you,
investigation failed.
yeah, for those of you watching on YouTube, you saw our faces. There was a really strange noise. No idea what the heck that was. But whatever. Anyways, we're here. We're fine. Everything's fine.
We're okay. We're sure whatever happened is okay. But
I don't know. I really don't even know how to describe that. Whooping cough.
okay, yes. So, obviously, experts are really concerned about the situation, especially we already talked about this about like spreading indoors and all of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was talking about the babies and stuff. It's super scary. It's really really scary. Okay, so this rise in cases may be due to several factors, including lower vaccination rates. All right, let's be real. That's probably one of the primary reasons. And this all happened like during the COVID-19 pandemic. There's a lot of like COVID vaccine fear that sparked a lot of fear, and like vaccines that we've had for years.
That's what I was going to say. This vaccine is old.
This is just like a sparked.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't want to get into politics.
Yeah, no.
Which medicine shouldn't even be
Hey,
politics. But
Thank you.
yep.
2 separate things. Let's keep them separate, please.
Yeah, that's obviously caused a lot of disruption in healthcare visits and then people missing their vaccines. But no, we're talking about we're not in the pandemic year anymore. We're out not out of it or whatever. I don't really know what's the correct thing to consider.
Yeah, like
whatever. COVID is
we're past the
the pandemic shock
and the isolation.
Yeah, isolation. I mean, it was like kind of back to everything for the most part.
Yeah.
But anyways, whooping cough is a vaccine that's given in multiple doses. You give one and then you boost and then you boost and then you boost years later.
Right.
But missing just one appointment can make children pretty vulnerable. And the reason why we boost is to create more immunity. So just because you had one pertussis vaccine doesn't mean that you are fully vaccinated. You may need a few boosts, right? And then even down the line, you're going to need a boost.
Right.
So additionally, there's still significant vaccine hesitancy, which can contribute to the lower coverage rates, particularly in children and in pregnant women, whose vaccination helps protect newborns, right? So that's why in pregnant women, they actually want you to get a Tdap vaccine because if you are protected, then baby is protected, and it's kind of like that herd immunization.
Right.
So the symptoms of whooping cough start like a mild cold, but can escalate to severe coughing fits. And for everyone that's like, oh, but there's an antibiotic for it. The antibiotic just stops you from being contagious.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Okay? That doesn't make you better. Okay? And this cough can last forever. And also in kids, kids get sick often.
Yeah.
So imagine you get this infection, you have it pretty bad, like a pretty bad case of it. And then 2 weeks later, right after your treatment, you go back to school and then you get sick with another thing. So you haven't even recovered from pertussis and you're already, again, feeling like another type of virus. And then it's just going to, it's a crap show.
And anybody that has kids knows that kids going to school is a petri dish.
Yeah.
Like they're getting out of one cold, even if it's minor or whatever, they're getting out of one to get straight into another one. And it's like a miracle if you have like maybe a week or two in between. Even if it's not like fever or whatever, sniffles, something. It's inevitable to be contagious like at school.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, next one. Very, very like problematic right now. Hurricane Helene leaves IV fluid shortage in its wake. It's incredible like how these natural disasters like really, really affect important situations.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, look at COVID, the pandemic. Like,
yeah.
We ran out
PPE.
of PPE. We ran out of hand sanitizer.
Oh my God, hand sanitizer.
We had to like in-house hand sanitizer. Was positive. It was just 100% vodka.
Probably.
So it's crazy.
Yeah,
it does happen.
So by Stephen Ross Johnson on October 17th reported on U.S. News. Hurricane Helene has caused a nationwide shortage of IV fluids by damaging a critical manufacturing plant in North Carolina. This plant, operated by Baxter International, supplies over 60% of the U.S.'s IV fluids essential for hydration and surgeries. As production halts, hospitals are forced to ration supplies and delay elective procedures. Baxter is working on increasing production at other plants and import IV fluids temporarily, but full recovery is not expected until late 2024, leaving hospitals to manage this shortage carefully. I can't even imagine having to like figure that out.
North Carolina.
Oh yeah, devastating. It's horrific.
And the mudslides and it's
Asheville.
Yeah, I know.
I went to Asheville when right before I got pregnant, and it was just like, and seeing the photos now of Asheville, it's really devastating.
Sad. It's actually really sad.
Horrible.
And I never, living in Florida, we don't have mountains.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what those mudslides like are. And that was devastating. There was like stories about even like a girl and her boyfriend, that she was pregnant and she was due. And because of everything, she couldn't get out of her house and she gave birth in her house. And her boyfriend went to go out to seek help and he never returned.
What?
Yes. So then EMS found her. Yeah. It's just the story.
Oh my God, that's just.
And the EMS was like, they don't even know how
Did they ever
Baby
find?
and her
Yeah.
were alive.
Oh, no,
I
for
didn't
sure.
follow up on the story. You know, I hope that they found everyone, but I think there's a lot of people that went missing. There were people that were posted on Facebook that they're like, oh, they were last seen with this.
And we're talking about like also cities that are not prepared for hurricanes.
No, yeah.
These are cities that don't encounter hurricanes every year like we do here. We're prepared. We know what to do. We know what to do, what not to do, how to prepare for it, how to board up, how to shelter or leave, you know, whatever the situation comes.
In minutes. Because
100%.
was happening in minutes.
Mostly there you have mudslides.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my God, it's horrible.
All right, so frozen waffles sold at Target, Walmart, and other major retailers recalled over listeria.
I just added this last night.
Yeah.
Last night. Look, October 18th and today is the 19th.
So this is by Amy Pitchy on October 18, 2024 on CBS News. So Treehouse Foods is recalling over 500 of its frozen waffles sold at major retailers like Walmart, Target, and Publix due to potential contamination with listeria. Here is that me again.
Yeah, she's
We'll
Queen
invite
Bee
her
right
to the
now.
party.
I don't know, but she's making a hell of a splash on the last bit of 2024.
Listeria, again, harmful bacteria, causes a lot of problems, can lead to death in certain situations.
It's more than just food poisoning, guys.
it's more than
This
just food
is a little more serious than that.
So consuming listeria can lead to really serious illnesses, particularly in people that are immunocompromised. So like infants, older adults, pregnant people, just a lot of anyone that has a weakened immune system can really have a harsh infection. So these brands include Walmart Great Value, Target's Good and Gather, Aldi's Breakfast Best, Dollar General's Clover Valley, Publix Giant Eagle, Price Choppers, Harris Teeter, HEB, which is a big one in Texas.
I used to go to HEB all the time.
Yeah, other affected brands include Kodiak Cakes, a big brand that's like our protein one. But anyways, a simple truth is no one food vault. No illnesses have been reported so far, but consumers are urged to avoid eating the affected waffles and return them for a refund. If you have purchased any of these products, it's recommended to return them for a full refund. You can check out our show notes for the full list and announcement by the FDA Treehouse Foods.
Yeah, I'll post a link there so you could go through the whole thing because it's an extensive list on. So it's Treehouse and they supply to all these companies
that then are sold through their brand.
Through their brand name, exactly. So go through that list, guys. If you have frozen waffles, I know kiddos love it. I like frozen waffles, like honestly. So go through that, you know. You'd be surprised out of the brands that are in that list because I went through it. I just listed like the most like known ones to me, but in another state it might be different ones. So go through that list. I really urge you to do that. Lastly, I wanted to go through articles based on this news. So pediatric workforce shortages persist in 2024. Prime example of that. And this is by childrenshospital.org. Okay, so they published this recently now in October of 2024. And then the other one is from optimed.doximity.com. And it's by Shadman Sinha. He's a doctor in pediatrics, and he published this on October 7th of 2024. So I found that this was pretty interesting and relevant enough to at least mention at the end of this recap right now. So the U.S. is currently facing a severe pediatrician shortage, which has been worsening due to several factors, which are pretty severe, honestly. Yeah, it's not. I think that was like a Freudian slip.
Yeah, exactly.
So key issues include fewer medical students choosing pediatric specialties. Why? I wonder. I mean, you're not getting compensated. So why would you even like go through 4 years of medical school and then another 4 years of residency, uplifting your whole ass life for this career that's not even going to like help you out at the end of the day? I really wonder. Anyway.
And also, it's like not even help you out at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, like this is your salary, right? Like this is your job, your life that you've dedicated so much time and hard work, and
you're not getting compensated for it.
Not only that you're not getting compensated, but you have loans. You have loans. When you graduate and you're done with residency and everything, when you look back at your loans, you feel the pressure.
Yeah. And that's it. And you're not getting compensated for it. So why would you choose that specialty then?
Exactly.
Why would you put yourself through that?
Long specialty too.
Like,
It's not like this is a 3-year thing that you can do that. Like it's years of dedication. and then you're done, and it's been years. So then, like, what are you supposed to do now?
Yeah.
Go switch to another job. It's like
You can't.
dedicated so much.
You can't. And those loans that you're carrying, yeah, well, you can.
Yeah.
No way. So, like I said, fewer medical students going into these specialties, especially subspecialties. We literally were talking about that off camera because of lower salaries compared to adult medicine and the increasing administrative burdens on general pediatricians. Many pediatric residency programs are going unfilled. And the shortage is especially pronounced in rural areas and specific fields like pediatric neurology, endocrinology, and medical healthcare. So the shortage means longer wait times for families to access specialized pediatric care, leaving many general pediatricians to manage more complex cases outside of their actual practice, and their expertise. Factors as Medicaid reimbursement rates and higher training demands in pediatrics compared to adult medicine exacerbates this problem. So despite advocacy from organizations like Children's Hospital Association, more support is needed to address pediatric workforce crisis, including better reimbursement for pediatricians and changes to fellowship training structures.
Yeah. There's a lot of like varying factors that place pediatrics at a low paying field. But what's worse is that some pediatric specialties actually get paid lower than general pediatricians. So it doesn't even, apart from the vet, if you're a pediatrician, it's because you love what you do, right? You deal with a lot, and to get paid a low amount and deal with what a lot of people don't want to deal with, you truly have a passion for what you're doing. That's how I see it. And it really sucks to know that you put 3 extra years, because most pediatric specialties are 3 additional years.
Yeah.
So that you put 3 additional years in something that you really love. Let's just say pediatric nephrology, right? And it's such an important field in pediatrics. And it's just slowly declining all specialties because a general pediatrician gets paid more. So it's like, where is the motivation? Right? There is no motivation.
No.
So yeah, and just for like everyone out there, like just to see a pediatric neurologist, I have patients that are waiting over a year to see a pediatric neurologist.
Oh my God.
And I have specifically had cases where I'm concerned for like a tumor, seizures, like things that need more immediate attention. And I've had neurologists say if you want them to be seen soon, they need to go to the ED so they can consult neurology.
Wow.
Because there's the closest that they had for a patient that I was concerned about infantile spasms, which if you look it up is awful, okay? I had a concern about infantile spasms, and the neurologist told me that the soonest that they could see them was in 2 months.
So yeah, that patient doesn't have 2 months to wait.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with the doctor. It is the system.
Yeah.
Right? So they literally can't. Like, these are doctors that are seeing upwards of 30 patients.
That's what I was going to say. Like, how
so
much?
This is not like they're seeing 10 patients. No. We are fully packed. So, yeah, it's really sad. And it's not this, pediatrics is just one field. There's multiple fields.
Oh, yeah.
Slowly there's no motivation to be in it because there's just so much that's thrown on your plate and you can't.
And yeah, that's exactly it. It's
just
not
don't feel like it's worth it.
Right. After all this
I'm sure there's people that are going to be like, well, if you really have a passion for it, then why are you so concerned about the money? It's not about the actual passion for it. The passion makes you want to be in the field. When you go in and day out, trust me. It's like that same thing that people say, I want this to be like my hobby and not my job.
Right.
It ends up becoming like this like really harsh and negative and just like really dark side of healthcare that really unmotivates everyone from continuing to be in it.
That's the thing. Everybody needs income.
Yeah.
Okay. And inflation is only going up.
Yeah.
So you have to be realistic here. Yep. So how are you going to sacrifice all that time, all that money, and all those loans, and then what?
No idea how many times a patient comes to me, a patient family, and they're like, but they don't have any appointments until like 3 months from now. And I'm like, take it. Yeah. Take it. Like, don't wait. Just call them back right now and see if that appointment is still available.
Horrible that this is the world we're living in when it comes to that. But yeah, what are you going to do? Hopefully this is kind of like a wake up call into that whole system on its own, because we need pediatricians. It's needed. It's one of the baseline things in medicine needed, specialties, whatever it is. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to our October recap.
Yes.
This was it. If we missed anything, let us know so we can cover it on the next one and so forth. If there's any requests for an actual episode or topics or whatever, let us know. We love that. Follow us on all forms of social media. We're Funny Medicine Podcast pretty much on all forms of social media. Follow us and subscribe to our Patreon. You'd be helping us out. And then we have over 60 episodes, full episodes like this, available now for you, either on the first tier that it's just audio of those episodes, or on the second tier that's both audio and the video version. Up to you. That's patreon.com/Funny Medicine Podcast. And you'd also be helping out the show. And check out our merch. I will link it wherever you're watching or listening to this. And we'll see you on the next one.
We will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Like, comment, review us on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc.
Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Funny Medicine Podcast. Our Gmail is funnymedicine305@gmail.com. And remember, we are not diagnosing you.
Definitely not just funny stuff.
See you later, guys.